All right, welcome back to Print to Finish 2020 for our final day, afternoon session. I'll turn it over to you, Neil.
Yeah, so next we would like to welcome Mr. John Beng from Rhin-O-Tuff as the VP of Sales and Marketing for Rhin-O-Tuff. He's been there for a few years and working with our channels and the clients to bring relationships, and also sells a punch with made in USA with unparalleled quality. So welcome, John Beng.
Good afternoon. Can everybody hear me okay?
All good.
You're coming through.
Good. Good. I did something right today. So I know, I think we have some videos we're going to play today and really talk about punch productivity, correct?
Correct. So it's hitting harder is the session name today, and we will be having the Tornado Autopunch as one of the demos. So Nell could go ahead and roll it.
Tuff has been and still is on the cutting edge of bookbinding technology. And today, Rhin-O-Tuff is proud to introduce the world's first collating punch, the Rhin-O-Tuff Tornado Autopunch EX. In the process and workflow of bookbinding, there's one large bottleneck. It's called finishing. The bookbinding industry's premier research group, InterQuest, has worked alongside some of the world's greatest brands. InterQuest recently conducted an important survey, surveying the bookbinding workflow of digital, commercial, in-plant, quick printers, corporate, and in-house printing. It was determined that 63% of total job time was spent on finishing, and the vast majority of that time is spent on punching and collating. After printing in traditional bookbinding, there comes the need to punch. First, you start with the book block itself, punching all the individual sets, often done with large commercial punches. That's step 1. Steps 2 and 3 would be to punch your front covers and back covers. These could be acetates, clear covers, polys, vinyls, all different kinds of substrates that prove difficult for traditional punch machines. What you need is a separate punch, a separate step, and other workers to do all that. Step 4 is next, where you separate your book blocks. Regardless if you do that before or after the punch process, you still have to separate the book blocks for the collation process. And depending upon the size of the project, this could be a long and tedious process. All of this brings us to step number 5. After removing each book block from any dividers, you add the front cover, you add the back cover, and finally, your documents are ready to bind. Most people and businesses simply do not realize the amount of time that is spent on the finishing. Punching, sorting, stacking, punching covers and backs, and inserting it all together. Well, that was the old world. In the new world, the Rhin-O-Tuff Tornado Autopunch EX can deliver up to 40% increase in this finishing process. One machine, one step. With the amazing technology built into this single machine, an operator can stack 2,500 sheets into the main bin. And the 2 interposer trays can handle the widest variety of difficult substrates, unlike any other machine on the market. Then, using Rhin-O-Tuff's patented interchangeable die system, this machine can punch one of 9 different styles into all of these materials. Main block, front cover, back cover, tabs, no problem. Using a simple graphic user interface panel, the operator can program the entire job. And because of the world's first automated collating punch, moments later, out pops offset stacked finished document sets, ready for easy retrieval and binding. Utilizing an exclusive partnership with German engineering company BDT, Rhin-O-Tuff has harnessed Tornado technology. It all begins with the use of air. Side blowers blow air through and across all the substrates, eliminating static electricity and cling. Built right into this Rhin-O-Tuff machine are these blowers working hard to maximize efficiency. And if your eye can even catch it, you can see the side air and tornado suction working in tandem. And for demonstration-only purposes, you can see the sheer power of the Tornado technology. The automated technology inside each machine allows for materials to be moved around, put into place, and a job well done. And the patented roller system keeps things moving regardless of material makeup. Standing strong in its exclusive partnership with BDT and Tornado technology, Rhin-O-Tuff is combining decades of leading engineering in the binding industry. Interchangeable punch die sets allow for multiple bind styles, which allows for great versatility. All of this done with one machine that does both punching and collating automatically. The advanced graphic user interface is as impressive as it is simple to use. Setting up the material type, coalition order, and output quantity is as easy as using a copier. And because of the RFID tag on each die, the Tornado Autopunch can automatically read and adjust for the punch pattern in play. Here are some key features that give the Tornado Autopunch EX its versatility and ease of use. As the world's first automated collating punch, it has advanced media handling technology, the widest media range in the industry, automated interposing of covers, index tabs, and inserts. It accommodates mixed media runs on digital printers. Patent pending, it has paper accumulation technology, heavy-duty auto punch technology, and offset book stacking ready for binding. We are very pleased to be working with a market leader such as Rhin-O-Tuff to bring the BDT Tornado technology into the punch and bind market. The advanced media handling capabilities of the BDT Tornado technology have proven very effective within our feeding solutions for digital printer manufacturers such as Kodak and Hewlett-Packard. When combined with a robust punch technology from Rhin-O-Tuff, we are confident the new auto punch system will allow bookbinders to broaden their applications, improve efficiency, and continue to grow their businesses. And that is the Tornado Autopunch EX by Rhin-O-Tuff.
So wonderful. If you'd like, I can kind of give a little history as to the development of that product. That is our new flagship product,
Yeah,
the Tornado Autopunch. Would you like
that'd
to
be very good.
do that a little bit?
Yeah, that'd be very good.
Rhin-O-Tuff, obviously, we're a USA-based manufacturer of punching and binding equipment based in Boise, Idaho. And the Tornado Autopunch has been out in the marketplace for about 2 years now. So I get asked every now and then, why did we wait so long to come out with an automatic punching machine? And really the answer is we wanted it to be slightly different than all the other, what I'll call feed and speed machines that are on the market today. And what we realized in the research and development that our marketing department did at the time, and most of you can probably relate to this, is you go into the print shops and they're putting their books together by walking around the table. And I want everybody to have that visual in their mind. You know, you're going in the print shop and you see the stacks of the paper, the components of the book, and various different personnel and staff members are walking around the table, putting together those components to make their book. And in all the years that I've been in the punching industry, that's been the case, because you're having to separate out your covers, sometimes your tabs, sometimes your inserts. They're being punched on different mechanisms, and having the ability to put them all together in one device, in one solution, is the research and the development behind the Tornado. So we are coining it as the world's first collating automatic punch. And the reason we're able to do that is we've added 2 interposer bins that allow the machine to feed different substrates, those that traditionally have been punched separately from the book blocks. And we are using that BDT Tornado technology in order to feed those other substrates in the sequence of your job into the accumulator of the machine through the punching die, and your book blocks are coming out collated, punched, offset stacked, ready to be bound one at a time into your binding machine. And we thought that that was something that was different and new and innovative to the marketplace. And that's kind of history, why it took Rhin-O-Tuff so long to come up with an automatic punch machine. Any questions on that part?
No, I think that's very good. One of the things that we've found in our experience with this machine, having it on our floor for a bit, is the feeding is absolutely amazing. We took our 2 of the hardest stocks to feed. We took a 10 mil PVC cover and a 16 mil leatherette cover just to see what it would do, and absolutely perfect every single time. So we've definitely proved it.
That was we took a stack of 100 PVC covers and told just to punch it one at a time. It was incredible. It was perfect. And I mean, anybody that punched PVC covers, there's static electricity and static cling and everything else between them. And that feeder fed it individually perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, that's its sweet spot. You know, the applications that I see the most are clear acetate covers and your vinyl Regency back covers. I think some studies at one point told me about 80% of all bound documents have those two components. And if you also include tabs, and again, depending on what type of printer device you have, tabs can also be problematic. So being able to combine those elements and those parts of your job into the book all automatically with the push of a button, it really is tremendous. And that's really the advantage of the Tornado Autopunch.
Anybody out there that has our catalog, John, we punched them all on the Tornado Autopunch. There's laminated sheets in there, as well as we have some what we call our Sleek Pro pages inside it as well. And that unit punched and collated everything all in one operation. I mean, the amount of time we saved, even if we were using another big punch system, a competitive punch system, this thing far outdid it because the collation and all that was all looked after.
Yeah, I actually had a prospect this week that told me they have the Rhin-O-Tuff tabletop machines. They also have an inline punch machine, but their book that they're trying to put together has a laminated front cover. It has 16 tabs. It's 150 pages and a vinyl back cover. And she's looking at the Tornado because even with those other devices in their shop, there's challenges. And, you know, trying to go ahead and put those type of books together on a regular basis without the proper equipment has been a challenge for her. And they're realizing there are solutions out there. And honestly, she was not upset at all when I told her to basically a $30,000 price tag to go ahead and automate that job for her. I would expect at some point to see a PO sometime this month. So, you know, for the right applications, it's not going to solve every problem, but for the right applications, this can really be a godsend machine.
I fully agree.
You know, John, it's
have some other solutions. I don't know if we're going to show any other of the videos, but you know, our desktop machines are very robust. We have a 3-in-1 system that I'll call a semi-automatic solution that will help you with the pixel lift machine and the automatic page ejector and stacker system. So those are semi-automatic. But I get asked all the time, I want to be able to punch more sheets of paper at a time. And I said, oh, okay, I get that. You know, if you're doing that and you're sitting at a machine, I would say I want to do the same thing. But when you're looking at things that you can automate or semi-automate, that's really the trend and the direction of things that are going today. And, you know, the capabilities of any punch machine from any manufacturer right now are going to be limited. It's just the process of having a die mechanism and putting holes in paper. Unless you want to go to a spindle or a drill, there's only so much you can do as far as the number of sheets of paper that you can punch at a time. So really semi-automatic or fully automatic are the answers that we're able to offer to the industry.
John, I think we have the video of the 7700 system that we're going to roll. If the audience pays attention, there's actually 4 different options on this screen. It's pretty cool, and it shows how modular the system is from a base punch with hand fed all the way up to including the PAL pixel lift for giving you the correct stack of paper for each punch lift, and then the APES ejector. So let's go ahead and roll that video.
This is a Rhin-O-Tuff speed test for the Onyx HD77 in different configurations with different modules. This is real-time video footage of processing one ream of paper. The 4 different configurations are the HD7700 along with the APES 14 and the PAL 14, and the 7700 with just the APES 14, just the PAL 14, and just the Onyx HD7700 all by itself. Let's watch this in action. Each of these videos have the same operator operating in the same fashion for the same amount of paper. On the right-hand side, we see the Onyx HD77 all by itself. The operator is picking packets the size he thinks is most efficient and running it through the machine. The punch works well and it is fast. Moving to the bottom left, we see the addition of the PAL 14. This pixel-lift model allows the operator to pick up packets that are most efficient, not too many and not too few. Each time he punches, a new packet is ready for him to pick up. It is speeding up his overall productivity. On the top right of your screen, you see the punch in conjunction with the APES 14, the automatic paper ejector and stacker module. This configuration requires the operator to pick the most efficient packets, but then, once it's punched, they are ejected and stacked automatically. This speeds up the process as well. And finally, on square one, the top left, we see the total configuration of the HD7700 along with the PAL 14 and the APES 14. This picks the packet, punches the paper, ejects it, and stacks it all in one fluid motion. As you can tell, this ream is already completed at 56 seconds. A minute and 26 seconds marks our second place winner, and this is with the APES 14 added to the punch. And following just behind at a minute and 31 is the PAL 14 added to the HD7700 configuration. Rhin-O-Tuff has designed these module units to keep productivity easier and faster as the operator moves through his business day. And the Onyx HD7700 all by itself punches a whole ream at 1 minute and 56 seconds. And there you have it, the Onyx HD7700 with various module configurations. The Rhin-O-Tuff Onyx series.
Yeah, so again, great solution. I refer to that really as semi-automatic because you have a operator that obviously has to stand at all times in front of that machine. But again, we're here to talk about different options that are available to the industry for punch productivity. And both the Tornado and the 3-in-1 system are great values when it comes to time savers and throughput as far as productivity for your job completion from start to finish. So really, those are the 2 highlighted options that I wanted to make sure we had the ability to review today.
John, a question that comes up often is the die, the number of different dies that are available for the Tornado punch.
I think, again, most people recognize Rhin-O-Tuff as a company that was innovative in its time. We were the first to develop the interchangeable die punch machine. And we make our own dies in Boise. So the Tornado, I believe, has 9 interchangeable dies right now that are what we call our standard dies. All your main punch patterns for plastic coil, there we go, twin loop or wire, plastic comb, and velo-bind, and then 3-hole. So again, all those are what we would call our standard dies. I actually have had the opportunity on a few occasions to actually quote some custom dies for the Tornado as well. So we do have that capability. Our dies are very durable. I get asked sometimes what the life cycle of a die is, and we haven't reached the point where we have an answer for that yet. Because again, it's in the millions. We don't have a Tornado die at this point that has reached that limit.
Another thing that I always find myself when in older, some of the older punches of losing the punch pins, and the Rhin-O-Tuff die has a nice little magnetic holder built right into the die to hold all those spare punch pins you have to pull out.
Yeah, it does. And actually on the Tornado, there's an RFID chip on the end cap of the actual die. And the machine will read that and will do the setup for you. It'll indicate which pins you need to pull based upon the size of your punch edge and your document size, as well as it will indicate on the LED screen what punch pattern or die is in the machine. Because again, you don't want to have to open the door and have to look. You want to make sure you know what die you have. So, and again, it's very easy to change out the die just like you do on our desktop machines. Basically, you unlatch it, unlock it, pull it, secure the new one back in. It takes seconds.
And I don't know, there's probably a few of our listeners have changed dies or had to pull a pin in some of the competitive machines. But sometimes you wish you'd gone to GM and got your mechanics training to actually figure out how to change a pin. Rhin-O-Tuff, true to how you've done it all the way along, incredibly easy.
Yeah, again, I would say if somebody who wasn't familiar with Rhin-O-Tuff asked me kind of what our claim to fame is, I would definitely say it's our dies. Again, that's what started our company. That's what has been able to make us successful for the past 25 years and will continue to lead us into the future with success. So the only challenge, and I do get this question asked every now and then, is again, can you put this different dies into the other model machines? Can you put a 7700 die into a Tornado? And for obvious reasons, the RFID chip being one of those is the answer is no. But again, it's very easy to match the punch patterns. I get that asked all the time. You know, is the punch pattern going to be the same? You know, we don't want to have to change or differ or alter our punch pattern. And of course, the answer to that question would be yes.
So John, question here from the South panel. What do you see as a good fit where the Tornado becomes a more economical or practical choice over, say, a faster auto punch?
So it really depends on the job and the application. So again, the advantage of the Tornado really is that it's a collating auto punch. So when you do have those other components to your book, tabs in particular, covers, cover sets, to be able to put those into the two interposer bins and then the main bin, the main hopper, basically you set up your job with the sequencing of those items. I have a front cover, 5 pages on the tab, 5 pages on the second tab, 5 more pages in the third tab, and press a button. And it will feed those items in sequentially, go through the punch mechanism, and your books will be collated and ready to be bound right from the get-go. So when you're looking at time from start to finish to go ahead and punch and ultimately start your binding process, with the Tornado Auto Punch, that time can be greatly reduced because they're coming off the offset stacker ready to go and start your binding process. So it depends on your application. I've got some big jobs that don't have those other components. You can certainly use the auto punch, but if you don't have, inserts or tabs or cover sheets, you may not necessarily need the Tornado. There may be other options out there for you. So it really depends on the specific job and the application and your volumes and, the frequency of running those jobs that really determines what is the best solution that's available to you.
Yeah, some of us have experience walking around tables, and we see our customers now,
all the time.
Reduce touch points, and I think that the real answer is let's look at units per hour, finished units per hour, not so much at sheets going into the punch.
Yeah, so we look at throughput and Scan to Collab provided there's some tools that we can actually share with end users and print shops that help you to determine that throughput, how much time you're really spending putting that book together. And again, here we are in 2020 and I see it all the time, not so much lately because we've been more on lockdown, but you're going into the print shops and you see those folks walking around the table. And there's definitely some better options and productivity that can be gained by investing in the automated equipment.
We got a question here from the audience. Maria is asking, how many sheets can you feed at a time? You want to just cover that off again, John?
Yeah, so on the Tornado, that's a really good question. I get that asked frequently as well. So because it's sequencing your items for your book, so it's counting those items into the sequence that you've entered your job. So again, I have a front cover, I have a back cover, I have tabs, and I have book guts. So I'm programming the machine just like I indicated, cover, 5 pages, tab, 5 pages, second tab. Because it's counting those items, the machine is feeding a single sheet at a time. But here's the misconception. That doesn't mean it's punching a single sheet at a time. So when all those items are being entered into the paper path, they're going to go into a component of the machine that we call the accumulator. And there's sensors. There's probably 25 sensors throughout the paper path in the Tornado. And based upon the actual thickness of your media, the type of paper stack that you're using, if it's an acetate cover, it's probably going to go through the punching die mechanism 1 sheet at a time. But if you're looking at your book guts and you've got just standard 20-pound regular bound paper, it's probably going to punch 10 sheets at a time based upon that sensor indicating the weight of those items. So again, feeding 1 sheet at a time on the sequence of your job and your job components, but punching up to 10 or 12 sheets depending on the type of media. So hopefully that answers that question. So, the other question I get asked frequently as we get close to the time limit here is, again, what's the main drawback or, problem that I've seen with the installs that we've had thus far? And I really just say it's training. You just have to get familiar with the machine, just like anything else, myself included. I'll make a mistake at a trade show and something won't run correctly, and it's truly operator error. The machine is very user-friendly, very easy to use, and I would say don't be afraid of it by any means. It's all electronics and sensors. And then, Bob, I know one thing I just want to make sure is you want me to talk about the promotion?
Yes, absolutely. Please cover that off.
So through ScanTheCore, through the end of October, basically we are offering a free Tornado die up to a $2,500 value with the purchase of a new machine. And then also on the desktop series, HD and OD 7700 as an example, a free die for those as well, up to $1,000 retail value. So now is a great time if you're ready to punch something to go ahead and get yourself a good deal. So contact ScanTheCore for the details.
Thank you very much, John. Appreciate that. It's definitely never been a better time to get into automation with everything starting to come back, and maybe not bringing back all your employees, but getting a new machine to do what's been done before. So it's very good.
Great. Well, thank you all. Thank you for having me. Go punch something. And if you have any questions, contact ScanTheCore. They definitely know how to reach me, or go on to the Rhin-O-Tuff website.
Thank you, John.
Thank you very much,
Thank
John.
you all.